Pathetic. Pathetic effort tonight from the Bulls. And it's not even just about tonight. It's an accumulation of how the end of the season has gone for this team. That was by far the ugliest game I have ever watched from a Bulls team in a long time. And that's saying something because the Bulls have been pretty bad the last few years. But at least the last few years, you wouldn't get too mad when they got blown out because the talent really wasn't there. Those Bulls teams were almost expected to get blown out on most nights when you were starting guys like Chandler Hutchinson or Cameron Payne or Jeremy Grant, and guys like Paul Zipser were getting rotational minutes. Yeah, when those teams or those types of teams were getting blown out, sure, it's annoying, it's frustrating because you want to see competitive basketball. But this team, this Bulls team, when you have the talent of players like DeMar DeRozan, Zach Lavine, Nikola Vucevic, those are three all-star level players. I know Vucevic wasn't an all-star this year and hasn't been playing like one at all either, but it's like three all-star level talent players. Caruso and Lonzo, sure, being out, that is no excuse for the absolutely pathetic effort from the Bulls tonight. Letting the Charlotte Hornets, a team that played last night, they're playing the second half of a back-to-back, and they're sitting at the bottom of the play-in. These guys are mentally checked out. They have lost the will to win with the playoffs starting a week from tomorrow. They look physically and mentally exhausted, and I have no idea how they go about changing this before playing in their first playoff game next week, especially when it's likely going to be against a team like the Bucks, Sixers, or the Celtics. This could very well be the easiest sweep one of those teams is ever going to face in the playoffs. How does a professional basketball team fall apart like this? How does a professional basketball team not have the pride to at least try and play your hardest game in and game out? There's an element of professionalism, pride, and dignity for which you should be playing the game of basketball as an NBA player. I don't care what you've gone through. I don't care the circumstances for which the season has transpired. You get out there and give the fans some effort. You've got fans who paid hundreds of dollars to go and see you play in the last home game of the season, and this is the kind of effort you show on the court? This is the kind of fight you have, and after getting embarrassed by the Bucks and the Celtics on the home court just a couple days ago? I heard the fans booing right before the end of the first half, and I honestly don't blame them. I would have been booing and screaming if I was in the stands tonight too. Like, if you're going to come in and put on a Bulls uniform in front of a Chicago crowd, well, some of them anyway, a fan base that holds the team to the standards of the dynasty era of the 90s, you walk into the tunnel and you see the 6 championship trophies as you head to the locker room, have some freaking pride knowing that you play for this franchise that Michael Jordan built. And look, I know some people will say, dude, relax. This was a meaningless game. The Bulls have already locked up the 6th seed. It doesn't really matter how they play from here on out. But you know what? Actually, it does. It matters when you come out looking like a punching bag for teams to go at right before you enter the playoffs. Teams see when a team is struggling and getting their heads down. Teams see that and they do their best to take advantage of it. And you saw that tonight in the Hornets coming out from the jump and punching the Bulls in the mouth. They went 11 for 11 to start the game. How do you let something like that happen if you're the Bulls? Give the Hornets credit. I mean, putting up those kind of numbers is incredible, but a professional basketball team and their defense should never allow the Hornets to go off from behind the arc like they did tonight. You let LaMelo Ball set the tone in a game early and light them up from deep, scoring 22 points in the first half. I still, for the life of me, cannot understand why Billy Donovan chose to start Coby White. A scorer, but poor defender, over a guy like Ayo, who is a better defender, and someone who Billy had been starting, to decide to make that change on a night when you're going against one of the better offensive players in the league in LaMelo Ball. I believe to start the game, LaMelo Ball had either scored or assisted on every point for the first 6 minutes of tonight's game, and for some reason, Billy Donovan thought it would be a good idea to start Coby over Ayo. Now, this, of course, is a game for which you really could use Lonzo Ball because not only is Lonzo a great defender, but it's also his brother that he grew up with, and he knows the ins and outs of his game. But still, that's besides the point. There was no excuse, LaMelo Ball and his performance aside, to let them completely get embarrassed like they did tonight. And to be honest, it didn't even look like they cared to even try and make the game respectable. Like, even coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter and having arguably their worst first half performance of the season, you thought, okay, maybe, just maybe, they'll come out with some fight in them, even if it doesn't mean winning the game, but at least making the game respectable and competitive. But no, you saw more of the same thing in the third quarter. Minimal effort, little defense, getting complacent, putting their heads down, and feeling sorry for themselves. I'll be honest, I did not watch the fourth quarter. Like, why would I? Why do they deserve to have the fans watching them after that god-awful performance in the first 3 quarters? Why subject ourselves to the frustration? For those that did watch this entire game, whether at home or in attendance at the United Center, bless your heart. But I couldn't do it. Not after the way the Bulls have been playing recently. It would have been one thing if the Bulls had been playing consistently well or just came off 2 great wins over the Bucks and the Celtics this week, and to then have a bad game against a lesser opponent in the Hornets. Fine, whatever, every team has a bad game. But no, getting embarrassed yet again for the 3rd straight time this week on your home court is inexcusable. And honestly, I don't even know if I can say that I'm excited to watch this team in the playoffs. Because as a fan, you have some level of pride in the team that you follow. And it sucks to be embarrassed by your team, as Bulls fans have experienced for so long now. And if the Bulls players aren't going to care, then why should we? I know it's a short video, but I really don't have much to say beyond that. Bulls played like ass tonight and have been for a while. And I've been defending this team for a while, but not anymore. Until they show some effort on the court and actually look like they want to win. And quite frankly, they don't deserve us diehard fans to be watching. Anyway, I'm out, guys. I hope you guys are able to enjoy your Friday evening. I know this game didn't help. I still love you guys. As always, be sure to subscribe if you're a Bulls fan, as I do post daily Bulls content. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.